All right, we'll get started. I got the word that there's no one actively coming here, so I think we're all here who's going to be here. So welcome to you all on this, the calm before the storm, literally, not figuratively. For those of you who don't know me, who I haven't had the privilege to meet, my name is Josh Crane. I am the head of school here in my 9th year of leadership here, in this, our 100th year of school operation at the Stony Brook School. Please, if I haven't had a chance to meet you, please make yourself known to me. There's nothing I enjoy more than getting to meet our parents and connecting with you and entering into relationship with you as we embark on this school year. So just a few words, and then I will turn it over to the more capable and competent presenters who will be following me. But in Matthew 7, Jesus tells a story about two different houses that were built in order to make a point about the strength of his teachings. One house was built on the rock. The other was built on sand. Inevitably, a storm comes. A strong one with heavy rains and winds that blow hard against those houses. The house on the rock stood firm. The one built on sand fell with a great crash. Well, on the eve of a hurricane, this story seems very apropos, but there have been other winds blowing hard over the last 18 months. Winds of division, enmity, and strife. And as you bring your child here for the first time or for the 6th time, I want you to know that the Stony Brook School is built on a rock. For 100 years, we have believed that the purpose of our education is to challenge young men and women to know Jesus Christ as Lord, to love others as themselves, to grow in knowledge and skill so that they might serve the world through their character and leadership. This has not changed. We believe each child who walks through our doors is a sacred being and therefore worthy of love and respect, no exceptions. We will know them, we will love them, and we will assist you in helping to shape their character. If our program takes root, that character will be marked by humility, service, love, kindness, gentleness, patience, and perseverance. We are looking forward to partnering with you. This is a school that values relationships. If something isn't going well, let's talk about it. It needs to be addressed. Let's get after it. You start with your child's advisor, and then you work from there. You should find our team friendly, approachable, and eager to help. You can stay in touch with your child's academic progress through our academic portal. If you're checking it more than a couple of times a week, may I lovingly suggest getting a hobby? And get connected to us through events that SBS Parents will be directing. You're going to hear from the president of SBS Parents, Linda Reuter, a little later in our presentation. Well, let's talk for a few minutes practically about what this school year is going to look like. I know there are many different views on how to approach COVID, even in this room. The survey that we had you all fill out confirmed it. 50% of you are ready to take masks off and just get back to normal. 50% not so comfortable. Surprise, surprise, in the times in which we live. But let me just share with you a few things about our approach this year. First of all, from the beginning of the pandemic, we made a commitment not to fear, not to make decisions based out of fear. We want to take into account all dimensions of health. Physical, yes, of course, but also social, emotional, and mental health as well. We're committed to in-person learning as the best odds chance to put teenagers in a position to experience total health in the midst of a pandemic. We'll start with the year with our masks on indoors and monitor local infection rates and guidelines to help determine when we might ultimately remove the masks, because the goal is not to keep them on indefinitely. We'll maintain 3 feet of distance, ensure our spaces are well ventilated, and avoid entire school-wide gatherings indoors. But we will take our masks off out of doors to build our community and to have fun Sports will continue as normal, and we've gotten pretty good at this after having done it for now almost 18 months, and I want you to have confidence in our approach. We have a great team, most of whom have their own kids here, so we look at this not only through an administrative lens, but also through a parental one. We are making decisions with those two lenses in mind. So, to close, in preparation for our 100th year, I've been doing quite a bit of studying on our school's history. And I've come to take great comfort in the many dangers, toils, and snares this institution has been through in its 100 years. Yes, Stony Brook attracts a hardy sort, but the perseverance is more than that. It's the hope that our predecessors had that buoyed them during the Depression, during world wars, civil unrest, and other challenges. The hope that we are not alone in this universe and that God will make a way even when there seems to be no way. They stood on that rock, and by their example, they invite us to do the same. We don't get to choose the times in which we are born, but we do have the choice as to what we make of them. Let's stand together as a community on the rock this year and experience all the good together that is in store for us. God bless you, and I'm so glad that you're here and so excited to be on this journey with you this year. Y'all take care. It's my privilege and pleasure to introduce to you now our director, one of our co-directors of college counseling, Chris Liu, who is a fantastic person and a fantastic college counselor and a fantastic speaker. So she's going to come up now and say a few words about the college counseling process.
Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be with you here today. As Josh told you, my name is Chris Liu, and I am one of the co-directors of college counseling here at the Stony Brook School. I'm sure most of you expected me to come up here and talk about college counseling since the title behind me says co-director of college counseling. And while I really love talking about the application process and how we help students and parents move through it, I've only been given a short amount of time, and so I felt compelled to share a little bit with you about things that I think are even more important. But first, a little bit about college counseling here at the Stony Brook School. If you've come to SBS because you thought it would help your child get into a top 25, a top 30, or a top 50 school, I want to tell you that you have come to the right place. I could throw all kinds of statistics at you today about our success in getting students into top-ranked colleges. I could tell you that we have a really strong college counseling program. We provide tons of support during the application process. We have strong relationships with colleges, and that we care about the students we work with. But let's be honest, I could be describing a lot of independent schools and their college counseling programs. So what sets Stony Brook apart from other schools? There's a lot I could tell you, but in the interest of time, I want to share one thing with you today. Here at Stony Brook, we look beyond the obvious and look just a little bit deeper. Great. It's a lot like the iceberg that you see behind me, because most of us will only see what is visible, the tip of the iceberg, as they say. But actually, the tip of the iceberg is only 10% of the entire iceberg. And if you don't look deeper, you will miss a lot. As I've mentioned, we do a good job of getting students into top-ranked colleges. But if you see SBS primarily as a path for your child to get into a highly ranked school, you will miss a lot. We look deeper academically. The tip of the iceberg would be a really high GPA. Sadly, we often define people by numbers, how much money they make, how many cars they own, and in high school, how high their GPA is. We're obviously impressed by the 4.33 student, and not as impressed by the 3.33 student. The A+ student is the one who's obviously more impressive. But look deeper, because you can obtain the 4.33 and never be a real learner. You can be less than a 4.33 and be a student who is excited by learning. And when we engage with students during the application process, we go deeper and look for things like genuine curiosity, engagement in class, taking learning outside of the classroom, and the courage to take risks. We recognize that true scholarship isn't always represented by the highest grade point average. And it's not just SBS that recognizes this. Colleges are also looking for curious, authentic, and excited learners. We look for the difference between talent and gifts. The tip of the iceberg is talent. If you watched the recent Summer Olympics, you saw a lot of talent on display. And there is no lack of it here at Stony Brook. We have super talented scholars, athletes, artists, and musicians, and we really admire the talent that we see here. But we look deeper, enabling us to see each student's gifts. And what are these gifts? They are our God-given strengths that bless this community today and that will bless the world tomorrow. Let me share a few of them with you. Friendship, kindness, patience, joy, peace, forgiveness, gentleness, love, hope, and trust. Because these are the true gifts that we offer to each other. Because maybe your child isn't an elite scholar, athlete, artist, or musician, but they are gifted, and the greatest gift they can give is the gift of who they are. Because colleges are looking for students who are kind, students who know how to build bridges between different people groups, students who aren't afraid to live by what they believe, essentially students of character. Our young people are our future, and the world desperately needs students, people who know how to be kind, love others, recognize and appreciate diversity and difference, and do the right thing, even when it's hard. But let me get back to college counseling. What is the tip of the iceberg with regard to the college application process? It would be ranking. Because if we're honest with ourselves, we're more impressed by Princeton than Purdue, Harvard than Hofstra, Stanford than Seton Hall. But look deeper and ask yourself these questions. What does a school have to offer? What does my child need to thrive? Is this school a good fit? Because we want every student at SBS to land at an institution where they will be challenged, love learning, find and build meaningful friendships, and continue to hone their talents and gifts. There's a lot more I could tell you today, but in the interest of time, I'd like to share a story with you. Parents and students, as you get to know me more, you will find that I am a lover of stories. I especially love hearing our students' unique stories and communicating them to colleges. But I want to end our time with this story. Last week, I had the chance to meet up with one of our alumni. Emily, in her time here at SBS, was not one of our best students. I think she would tell you that herself. But I remember hearing from several of her teachers that she was a real learner. She wasn't the loudest kid in class, but when she spoke, there was always a thoughtfulness to her contributions in class. During her senior year, I had the chance to build a relationship with her, and I found everything that teachers had said about her to be true. Her college process led her to a school that many of you would not recognize the name of. And when she came home this summer, we had the chance to get together. I was excited to hear about her freshman year, and honestly, our conversation was one of the best parts of my summer. I was impressed by her level of scholarship, but more importantly, the wisdom she had gained. She captivated me when she spoke about the global and national events that were on her heart. And I was excited when she shared her aspirations, her future dreams of possibly pursuing law to fight for what was right. And as my time with her neared to an end, I told her this: spending the last hour and a half with you has given me hope for the future. So parents, you will hear how competitive the college application process has become. And certainly there are no guaranteed outcomes. However, I can make a couple of commitments to you. One, we will do a solid job of helping your student build a college list with schools that are a good fit. We will help them brainstorm, write their personal statements, advise them about standardized testing, and make sure that they complete and submit those applications on time. We will provide plenty of information along the way so that you and your child feel prepared to move through the process with confidence. I moved through this process myself as a parent 3 times, so it's given me insight into what you and your child need to know. But most importantly, we will see, know, and love your children. Because it is out of this vision and knowledge and love that we have built the Stony Brook College Counseling Program. I look forward to getting to know your children, and I want to again welcome all of you and wish you and your children a wonderful school year. Welcome to Stony Brook. Sorry. I want to now introduce a good friend of mine and also our school counselor, Mr. Chad Hardison.
Hello, everyone. Let me be one of the many to welcome you to our school. My name is Chad Hardison. I am the Director of Counseling Services here at the Stony Brook School. For a lot of you here, I come from a different area of life. There were no mountains for me to ski down, no oceans for me to swim in, no major metropolitan city that was within a drive to go visit and explore. I grew up with a lot of corn. I grew up with the big mall, and that was about it. Growing up how I grew up, and growing up the way that I grew up, though, may be different than yours, but I would think it would be safe to say that all of us here experience different feelings, different emotions, different thoughts, and they go all throughout us, all throughout the day. Some of these thoughts and some of these emotions are very positive and they're very beneficial. They produce good things in our lives. Some of these positive thoughts and emotions help us to be productive in our schools. They help us to be productive in our families. They help us to be productive in our workplaces. They help us to be productive in society. And they help us to be productive in our own little world and the big world globally. And it's in this positive place with our thoughts and with our emotions that we are free and enabled to make a better impact on our world. Other thoughts and emotions we have are not so positive sometimes. And it's in these moments that being productive in our life, being productive in our family, being productive in our jobs can be a little difficult, can be a little tricky. And so we create these strategies to manage these not so good thoughts or emotions. And sometimes those strategies work, and sometimes they work really well. And other times these strategies that we come up with tend to do more harm than good. Myself and our brand new school counselor, Miss Kim, make up the Department of Counseling at our school. Our role at the school is to work with you and your child in developing strategies that help create a place where more positive and more beneficial thoughts and emotions can occur. We do this because, as each one of us could attest to and each one of us know, that when we are in a place such as this, where our thoughts and our emotions are good and constructive and helpful and beneficial, that we are better people, we are better members of society, and we can accomplish a lot. The counseling department here at our school works with you and your child to develop these strategies, and we do this so that your child is in a better place, better equipped to perform and exceed not only at Stony Brook, but in life itself. If assistance is ever needed in the area of mental or emotional health for your child, or I have a couple teenagers too, for you yourself, please feel free to contact either myself or Miss Kim at the counseling department, and we'd be more than happy to work with you, to sit with you, to talk with you, to listen with you, and help you develop strategies to help your child to be the person that they can be. With that being said, please welcome Linda Reuter, our president of families at the school.
Hi, everyone. My name is Linda Reuter. I'm serving as president of the SBS Parent Organization. I have one child in the school. He's been here for 6 years. His last year, bittersweet. I can attest to the truth of all the things these people are saying. If you want a parent perspective, I can tell you anything you need to know. Please feel free to talk to me afterwards. So SBS Parents, we are the parent organization for the school, and what we do throughout the year is plan and host different events and meetings to connect the parents with the school, and also to connect parents with each other as a social and fellowship function. We will have meetings throughout the year. Our first meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, September 7th at 7:30, right in this room, if you want to mark your calendar. We will have meetings in person for those of you who are local and can come join us. And we will also live stream all of those meetings so that our parents who can't make it, or our international and non-local parents, can also join the meetings. And then we also record them, so if you need to catch it later. So there's many ways you can catch up on what's going on. At these meetings, you'll hear about what's going on at the school. You'll hear about future plans and changes, most likely this year, how our COVID plan is changing throughout the year. And there'll also be opportunities for you to get involved as much as you want to. We planned some social events for local parents. Last year, we had a paint night, which was a lot of fun. We also had a make a chunky blanket night at a local art studio, which one parent actually drove from Boston to attend, which I was very impressed with. And we had a lot of fun. We also, aside from doing fun social things and holding meetings, we will help with events run by the school. So you'll be hearing from Nancy Cipitelli next from our advancement office, and there are some events that are run by the school that the SBS parents will sort of jump in and help with as they need. We also host some faculty and staff appreciation functions. In the past, we've held luncheons at holiday time and end of the year. With COVID, we got a little creative and did some other types of events throughout the year just to encourage and show them how much we appreciate them. We also have a prayer group that meets on Fridays. If you're interested in that, and I'm going to be sending out an email with all of these details, so no worries about capturing it all right now, but our parent prayer group is run by 2 parents at the school. They'll be meeting on Friday mornings starting September 3rd, and you can sign up to participate in that, either to receive the weekly prayer sheet or to join the virtual prayer meeting. It's a Zoom meeting. And they started the Zoom meeting. They used to meet in person, but they realized last year that they had a lot more participation on the Zoom because some non-local parents were also interested in joining. So they're going to start the school year out doing the prayer meeting on Zoom again, and then we'll move from there and see if maybe we want to do both an in-person and a Zoom. But for now, we'll start with that. So that's the prayer group. So we have 5 parents who serve on the board, and we sort of help facilitate all of this. But we also have class parents for each grade in the school. And their role is a little bit more local to their grade, and to help with functions that are happening just for their grade, or class challenges, for example. We'll have just like snacks and refreshments that each grade can set up a table with their theme and their colors, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in being a class parent, you can speak to me, or you can speak to Nancy, who will be speaking here next, so you'll see her face as well. But if you're not ready to be a class parent or maybe sign up, we also just have a list of parents that are sort of our go-to people for each grade. So if we need something, we might send you an email and say, hey, if you're available and you want to help with this event. If not, no big deal. So there's a lot of different levels of involvement depending on your time and availability. You can expect to get an email from me next week. If you see an email come into your inbox from SBS Parents, that's really an email from myself, and it will have information about these types of events and functions and opportunities to get involved. Thank you so much. And next will be Nancy Cipitelli from our advancement office.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're just going to keep welcoming you to the school. Welcome. We're so glad that you're able to be here with us today and start the school year. I just wanted to take a moment. Some people aren't quite sure what I do here. But I work in the advancement office, and the advancement office is in charge of fundraising primarily. We have lots of events during the year. We start off with some things in September. We will have our Founders Day Giving Challenge that runs from September 13th through the 17th. And also on the 17th, we have an in-person gathering down at Danfords and Port Jefferson. So next week, you'll start seeing information about both of those events. We hope that you can join us if you're available on the 17th down at Danfords. Just fun mingling fellowship down there. We also fundraise a lot for the annual fund. The annual fund is very important to our school, just as it is at all of the private schools around. It helps bridge the gap between tuition and everything else that happens here. So that's an important thing. You'll see lots of things about that. This is our centennial year. This is a big thing, people. 100 years. We're very excited. So to culminate that, at the end of April, we are having our centennial gala at the Garden City Hotel. So that should be very exciting. And you'll start to see lots of things about that coming up. I do also work with Linda Reuter on the SBS Parents and the class parent director coordinator. So the very first thing we're going to do is Friday, September 3rd, the first Friday of the school week, we are going to have class challenges on campus. And I will be sending out emails to our class parent reps, and that will get filtered down to you as well about the things that, different ways that parents can help out for the class challenges. Very exciting night, and that happens in the fall and also in the spring. The other things that happen out of my office, we have alumni engagement, and we have alumni that have students here, we have alumni that teach here and work here, and alumni that are always connected with us, so that's exciting. And we also work with some communications out of the department. Alana Brooks works with us, and she is one of the key people that helps with putting out the bulletin every year, a couple of times a year, and our social media posts. Miss Lou from College Counseling talked about stories. I too love stories, and we love to hear the stories about your kids. So if your kids have done anything over the summer or throughout the year, they're doing some great things outside of school, we'd love to promote that. So you can send a blurb or just fill us in on some information. You can send that to Alana Brooks. All of us, it's our first name dot last name at sbs.org. So you'll get used to that email as well. And I just want to say I'm really, really thrilled that you're all here today. And it's going to be just a fantastic year. So thank you so much. And I'm going to introduce Tonya Detweiler, our Dean of Students.
All right, you've almost made it. I'm the last one. Hope you all are doing all right. So my name is Tonya Detweiler. I am the Dean of Students for grades 7 through 12. And I have been in your seat. I have 3 children. 2 of them have graduated from here, and my baby is a senior. Hard to believe. And I also attended here, so students who are in the room, I was in your seats as well. So if you have any questions from any of those perspectives, please feel free to reach out to me for anything. And if I don't know the answer, I'll direct you to someone who does. So I think you probably, hopefully, have experienced already and have heard through all those that have spoken before me that care is a big thing here at Stony Brook. As human beings, we want to be known and we want to be loved, right? That is core of who we are as human beings, and that is no different for teenagers. And so we take that really, really seriously here. And how do we do that? So I am Dean of Students, and I would say the way that we do discipline here is pretty amazing. We've done it different ways. I've been here for 28 years. As a faculty member, we've done it different ways over the years, but what we have done here in recent years is my absolute favorite, and that is restorative discipline, and that really comes from the gospel, where we believe as faculty that because we are all coming from the Christian worldview, that we are all sinners, we all make mistakes, we all fall, and we need each other to pick us up when we do fall and then to move us forward. And that is what our discipline process is here. So we care for each student who walks through an issue. We signed up to work with teenagers. We love teenagers, and we know that what comes with that is some mistakes, right? That's part of life, that's part of growing up. We're all gonna make mistakes, but we wanna be with your child when they do make a mistake, and we wanna walk alongside them, and we wanna pick them up, and there are consequences, right? There are boundaries that you can't cross, but when you do, and you break a rule, we're with you, right? We're gonna be with your child, and we're gonna be with you. Okay? As parents, we've all been on that end of it too. So we're in this together, and the key is that we will know your child, we will love your child, and our goal is that through mistakes, they will grow and become stronger individuals. So that's our approach to discipline. Advisor, you've heard a little bit about that. Your child will be in a small group of 10 students and a faculty member. That faculty member who is your child's advisor is your go-to person. So even if they don't know the answer, they'll find it, but that is your one-stop shopping, parents. And students, you're going to get to know this advisor really well. We meet twice a week for half an hour each time. And this advisor will get to know your child's social interactions. We'll get to know your child's academics, how they're doing academically. We'll go to their sports games. It's just a really neat relationship that builds, and your child will be well known in that advisory group, and you will get to know that advisor really, really well. Work job. It's a really weird word. But work job is something we do at Stony Brook because we believe to be a member of a community, we all need to do things to make that community work. So it's kind of like chores at home, but this is a chore at school. So every student will have a job where they help the school. So it could be cleaning a blackboard. It could be, oh, that shows my age, cleaning a whiteboard. Taking out the trash, bringing the mail from an office to the mail room. It's very interesting. We stopped work job because of COVID last year, and I had students that said, Mrs. Detweiler, we miss work job. Why? Why would they miss a chore? You'd think, yes, no work job. But they missed being that part of where they knew they were helping. So we're resuming that this year, and we're really excited about that. And again, that's care. That's teaching them how to become a functioning adult in this world where they are a part of making something work. And then weekend activities. I wanted to mention that. That's not under my umbrella, but this is another side of care, which is fun, right? We all need to have fun, and teenagers love fun, right? Yeah, right, David? Love fun. So weekend activities, the way we design it here is Friday nights we do activities here on campus. And day parents, that is amazing because your child can stay. So they have class here on Friday, they go to sports on Friday, and then they're welcome to stay for dinner and stay for the activities. One less car ride for you. Woo! So just so you know, activities, you'll get an email Wednesday or Thursday of each week with the activities that are coming that weekend. On our master calendar on the portal, the activities will be listed for the year, so you know what's coming up, and you'll know each week what's coming, and your child, whether they're day or boarding, are welcome to all of the weekend activities. Saturday, we'll do community service trips every Saturday, and we will do off-campus trips as well as on-campus activities. So that's a very key part, I believe, to middle school and high school is to have fun together. Those are different ways that we care at Stony Brook, but just so you know, as parents, we care about you, we love you, and teens love you to death. So please reach out to me with any questions you have about any of those areas. Happy to help you, and you have sat long enough. So with that, we're going to close this session, and we'll move outside. Thank you so much for coming today, especially in this heat. Blessings and safety to you tomorrow, and we'll see you in a week. Take care.